Good morning, everybody. Today, our science activity is going to be our cornstarch goo. So the materials that we will need is one bowl. We'll need one spoon, food coloring. Glitter is optional. I did not have any glitter. I am going to supplement it with some fun stuff since our week is kind of about insects and bugs, and we're kind of focusing on nature during spring, etc. So I have some little insects I will throw in there after we get it all mixed up. We will need cornstarch. We will need water. I have just like a Brita here, so I don't have to leave you guys. We will need measuring cups. We will need a third cup measuring, and we'll need a full cup. I also have a glass one. I wasn't sure which one would be easier with the cornstarch. We will need a Ziploc bag for storage, and then a clean and kind of flat working environment that we don't mind getting messy. I'm going to give you a little science behind the cornstarch and water, kind of like our base and solids, okay? I'm going to share my screen here. Make it big for you guys.
Temperature, which is really unusual. Most things behave like either a solid or a liquid when they're at room temperature, but not both. So how are solids different from liquids? Well, things that are solid have a definite size and shape. If you touch it or move it or take it from one kind of container into another, it'll stay the same shape as before. But liquids are things that don't have a definite size or shape, like water. If you touch it, it moves. And if you move it from one kind of container into another, it changes its shape to fit the new container. So, for example, this toy is a solid. Whether it's standing up or knocked over on its side, it stays the same size and the same shape. And if we try to put it in this glass, it still keeps its shape. It doesn't change because it's a solid. But if we knock over a glass of water, the water spills everywhere, changing its shape. And if we pour it from this glass into this glass of a different shape, it changes its shape to fit because water is a liquid. And while most things behave like either a solid or a liquid, some things like oobleck can act like both. But how? Let's find out. It's time to make oobleck.
So I didn't call ours oobleck, but essentially it is the same thing. So I will just make sure to kind of talk about that as we go. Well, let's get us started. So first we are going to measure 1 cup of cornstarch loosely. Don't pack it down. So I do think I'm going to use my glass measuring cup, and I'm going to use my spoon just to get it in there. All right, so I have my 1 cup, just about, let's see here, pat it down, but there's my 1 cup here, and I'm gonna pour it into my bowl. Maybe use my spoon a little bit to get the extra. I love powdery stuff, but like they said, it is a little messy, but because it's our solid, it will stay kind of the same in the bowl. It looks the same as it did in that one, okay? And now we are going to measure 1/3 cup of water, and we're going to pour it into the same bowl. So I have my 1/3 measuring cup. I'm gonna fill it up, and this is our liquid, and I'm gonna pour it over the cornstarch as such. I'm going to then grab my food coloring. So the food coloring is, you get to choose which one you'd like. I'm thinking of doing green because of our spring kind of insect nature theme right now. So I'm going to drop 3 drops. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. So we're gonna now take our spoon and start mixing the cornstarch, water, and food coloring. It might be a little sticky, so you kind of got to get in there. Oh yeah. So it will make it kind of hard to mix, but if you keep scraping the bottom of the bowl and stirring until you can no longer see the color white. You want it all to be green. So it gets kind of tough on the bottom there. It's where we got to use all our muscles. Oh, good thing we've been back in school getting some exercise and building up our muscles again. All right. Keep mixing so it gets hard and soft. Hard and soft. This would be something fun to do with everybody in class too once we get back full time. Have a little more time throughout the day. Oh my goodness. This is so cool looking. So when I'm stirring it, it's hard, but then when it sits down, it kind of looks. So if I go like that, and then you notice how it goes kind of like gooey. All right. Ugh. So I'm gonna do it until I can no longer see the white. I have some white on my edges, but I'm not gonna add that to the, I'm not gonna worry about that too much personally. All right. Point you down a little so you can see it. Keep mixing a little bit more. All right. So now that we have mixed it up, it is time to get messy. So I have it over a table that we don't mind getting messy, and we're actually going to take a handful of it and goop it with your hands. So when you goop it, oh my goodness, it gets so hard and crumbles. But then when I start letting it go, look at that, it gets all gooey. What? So if you try and hold it, it'll squeeze together, and the minute you start letting it go, it turns kind of into this gooey, dribbly, oobleck mess. It does look like goo, so that's kind of cool. So I'm gonna ball it up and kind of play with that. So ball, 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 kind of matches my fingernails. And then if I goo it down, look at that, how neat. Because we just saw that it was like this whole ball in my hand, and now I can break it apart or it stays hard like that. That is so cool. Oh my goodness. Okay. So to keep it in perfect condition, you will want to put it in a Ziploc bag to store it. But I'm kind of feeling right now, it's kind of, if I'm going with texture, it's kind of grainy. But then if I touch it while it's in the bowl, it's very smooth and kind of almost like a liquid form. You guys will have to tell me what you think of yours. That's the fun thing about science. It's kind of what you observe, and I'm observing kind of the texture. It's kind of crumbly, but then when it drops, it's gooey and stretchy. Kind of that liquid looking like. All right. So there's a little science behind it. So the cornstarch and the water, they mix, and like we talked about earlier, they act like a solid. And sometimes that liquid, sometimes it acts like a liquid, like in this case, and sometimes it acts like a solid. So that's what we were talking about, where it's kind of that crumbly, and then it can kind of go to that liquid looking form. So this impact of the force between the water and the cornstarch changed to form a semi-grid structure. So that's a little above my pay grade, but it's just pretty cool to play with, and it's super fun to look at and watch just kind of goo down. So in the in honor of some of our bug stuff, while I get my bugs ready, we're going to listen to a little story, and it's called Some Bugs. Hopefully you can see that.
Some bugs hop. Some bugs hide. Some bugs swim. And some bugs glide. So grab your net bugs.
That was not the right one. I apologize. It must have switched over. Let me just. I apologize, you guys. That was my fault. Here we go.
Some bugs. Words by Angela Dieter Lizzie. Bugs by Brendan Wenzel. Some bugs. Some bugs sting. Some bugs bite. Some bugs stink.
That's true.
Some bugs fight. Some bugs flutter. Some bugs crawl. Some bugs curl up in a ball. Some bugs hop. Some bugs glide. Some bugs swim.
I have a gliding bug too.
Some bugs hide. Some bugs click. Some bugs sing.
Hmm.
Some bugs do a buzzing thing. Some bugs build. Some bugs make. Some bugs hunt. Some bugs take.
We have an ants theme too going on with our sensory activity coming up.
Stinging, biting, stinking, fighting, hopping, gliding, swimming, hiding, building, making, hunting, taking. Bugs are oh so fascinating.
Very true.
So kneel down close, look very hard,
I have a ladybug right here.
and find some bugs in your backyard.
How fun. All righty. Well, I will end that. I appreciate you guys participating with me today and joining me for our cornstarch goo and kind of playing with some of my insects. I'm going to continue playing with this because it's fascinating to me. So I hope you guys have a great day. Don't forget to join Teacher Gabe at 1 o'clock for story time. And I hope you have a great Wednesday. See you next week. Bye.